Why does one field work perfectly for full-text search but fail for sorting? Why does an aggregation on one field use efficient disk structures, while the same operation on another field can spike heap memory and crash your cluster? The answer often comes down to a single mapping decision: text versus keyword. Think of it like choosing between a dictionary and a filing cabinet. One organizes words for lookup, the other stores exact labels for sorting. In this video, we will go from your Elasticsearch mapping all the way down to Lucene internals, JVM memory, OS page cache, and disk to understand exactly how these two field types behave. In Elasticsearch, every field in your mapping has a type that controls how data is stored and searched. The two most common string types are text and keyword. A text field is designed for full-text search. It is analyzed, meaning the input string is broken into individual searchable terms by an analyzer. Think of it like a librarian who takes a book title, breaks it into individual words, and files each word in a card catalog so you can find the book by any single word. A keyword field is designed for exact values: IDs, status codes, tags, host names, email addresses, and categories. It is typically stored as one single exact token. Think of it like a filing cabinet where each folder has an exact label. You look up the precise label to find the folder. You would not search inside the label for partial words. Use text when users need to search for words within a sentence or paragraph. Use keyword when you need exact matching, sorting, or counting unique values in aggregations. This distinction is the foundation of everything we will cover today. Let us send the exact same value through both field types to see what changes. Suppose the input is payment gateway timeout error. If the field is mapped as text, Elasticsearch applies an analyzer. The default standard analyzer first runs a tokenizer that splits on word boundaries, then applies a lowercase token filter. The result is 4 separate tokens: payment, gateway, timeout, error. Each token becomes a searchable term in the inverted index. Now if the same string goes into a keyword field, the entire value is kept as one exact token: payment gateway timeout error, preserving the original casing. No splitting, no lower casing. Think of it like a conveyor belt in a factory. The text path sends the string through a disassembly line, breaking it into parts. The keyword path simply wraps the whole string and ships it as is. One important nuance: keyword fields can have a normalizer configured. A normalizer is like a simplified analyzer that pre-processes the entire value, for example lowercasing it, but without splitting it into multiple tokens. This is pre-processing, not full tokenization. Both text and keyword fields can be indexed for search, but what gets stored in the inverted index is fundamentally different. Let us look at 3 example documents. Document 1 has a status field set to line_progress. Document 2 has status failed. And document 3 has a message field containing payment gateway timeout error. For the keyword field status, the inverted index stores each exact whole value as one term. So we get the term line_progress pointing to document 1 and the term failed pointing to document 2. Simple, clean, one-to-one. For the text field message, the analyzer produces multiple tokens, and each token becomes a separate term in the index. So we get payment pointing to document 3, gateway pointing to document 3, timeout pointing to document 3, and error pointing to document 3. That is 4 index entries from one field value. This is why text fields are great for matching individual words. Searching for the word timeout instantly finds document 3. But keyword fields excel at exact whole value matching. Searching for the exact string line_progress finds document 1 immediately. Under the hood, each term entry in the inverted index is stored in a terms dictionary, and the document lists are called postings lists. One of the most common and practical Elasticsearch patterns is multi-fields. You can index the same logical field in 2 ways simultaneously: a text version for full-text search and a keyword subfield for sorting and aggregations. For example, if you have a city field, you map it as text and add a keyword subfield. In your mapping, the city field has type text, and inside a field's block, you define keyword with type keyword. This creates 2 separate index structures from the same input. Now you use a match query on city for full-text search, and a terms aggregation on city.keyword for counting unique cities, and a sort on city.keyword for alphabetical ordering. Think of it like keeping two copies of a library catalog, one organized by individual words for searching, and one organized by exact titles for alphabetical sorting. Why does this matter? Because without the keyword subfield, you would need to enable field data on the text field for sorting and aggregations, which loads analyzed tokens into heap memory and is strongly discouraged. The multi-field pattern avoids that entirely. In fact, many default index templates and dynamic mappings automatically create a .keyword subfield for every text field. Why is keyword the right choice for sorting and aggregations? The answer lies in a Lucene data structure called doc values. Doc values are a column-oriented, on-disk format where for each document, the field's value is stored in order. Think of doc values like a spreadsheet column. Document 0 has value A, document 1 has value B, document 2 has value A again. Reading down this column is very fast for sorting and grouping. Keyword fields have doc values enabled by default. They are stored on disk in Lucene segment files and accessed through the operating system's page cache. This means aggregations on keyword fields read data from disk-friendly columnar structures, often cached in RAM by the OS, without consuming JVM heap. Text fields tell a different story. They do not have doc values by default. If you try to sort or aggregate on a text field, Elasticsearch will reject the request unless you explicitly enable field data. Field data loads the analyzed tokens from the inverted index into JVM heap memory, building an in-memory column from the tokens. This can consume enormous amounts of heap, especially for high cardinality fields, and it causes latency spikes during the initial build. From an operations perspective, enabling field data on text is almost always the wrong answer. Use the keyword subfield pattern instead. A very common mistake is using the wrong query type on the wrong field type. The match query is a full-text query. It analyzes the search input the same way the field was analyzed, then looks for matching terms. The term query is a term-level query that looks for the exact value you provide, with no analysis. Here is where people get tripped up. Let us say the value New York is indexed. In a text field, the analyzer produces two tokens, New and York, both lowercase. In a keyword field, the value stays as one exact token, New York with original casing. Now if you run a term query for New York on the text field, it fails because the index contains New and York, not the combined string New York. But a match query on the text field works perfectly because the query text also gets analyzed into New and York. On the keyword side, a term query for the exact string New York works because that is exactly what is stored. Think of it like searching a phone book. A match query flips through pages looking for words that appear anywhere. A term query looks up one specific exact entry. Using the wrong combination gives you unexpected empty results that are hard to debug. Now let us trace what happens during indexing from the application layer down to the hardware. Your application sends a JSON document over HTTP to an Elasticsearch node. The node parses the JSON, looks up the mapping for each field, and routes the document to the correct primary shard. Inside the shard, the Lucene index writer takes over. For a text field, the analyzer chain runs. Character filters clean the input, the tokenizer splits it into tokens, and token filters transform them. This chain consumes CPU cycles proportional to the complexity of analysis. Stemming, synonym expansion, and language-specific analysis add more processing. For each token, Lucene writes an entry into the inverted index structures in an in-memory buffer, including the term, document ID, and optionally term frequency and position data. For a keyword field, the path is simpler. If no normalizer is configured, the value passes through as is. Lucene writes one term into the inverted index and one entry into doc values. The CPU cost is typically lower than text because there is no tokenization step. Both paths eventually flush from the in-memory buffer to on-disk Lucene segment files. Under the hood, that means system calls like write and fsync push data through the OS kernel to the storage device. To truly understand text versus keyword, you need to grasp two fundamental Lucene storage structures. The first is the inverted index, optimized for term-to-document lookup. Think of it as a dictionary at the back of a textbook. You look up a word, and it tells you which pages mention it. The inverted index stores a terms dictionary with pointers to postings lists. Each posting's list contains document IDs and optionally term frequencies and positions. This makes it fast for searching. Which documents contain this term? The second structure is doc values, a columnar on-disk format optimized for document-to-value lookup. Think of it as a spreadsheet column. For each row, what is the value? Doc values store one entry per document in order, making it fast for sorting. What value does each document have? And for aggregations, count all unique values across documents. Keyword fields commonly benefit from both structures: the inverted index for term queries and filters, and doc values for sorting and aggregations. Text fields primarily use the inverted index for full-text search. For keyword aggregations, Lucene uses a technique called ordinals. Repeated values like status codes are mapped to small integer IDs, and the aggregation engine works with these compact ordinals instead of full string values. This is why terms aggregations on keyword fields are memory efficient. Field type choices directly affect where memory pressure shows up in your cluster. Let us separate the two main memory areas. First, JVM Heap. This is the memory managed by Java's garbage collector. Objects like field data caches, query caches, and in-flight request buffers live here. When heap usage gets too high, garbage collection pauses kick in and latency spikes. Second, the OS page cache. This is the operating system's file cache that holds recently read disk pages and RAM. Lucene's doc values files, term dictionary files, and postings files are all accessed through the file system. The OS automatically caches frequently read pages. Think of JVM Heap as your desk, where you actively work on things. Page cache is like a filing cabinet right behind your chair. Recently used files are within arm's reach without walking to the archive room, which is the disk. When you aggregate on a keyword field, the data path goes through doc values files on disk, served through the OS page cache via system calls like map or read. This stays entirely outside JVM Heap. But if you enable field data on a text field and aggregate on it, the analyzed tokens are loaded into JVM Heap memory. For a field with millions of unique tokens, this can consume gigabytes of heap, trigger aggressive garbage collection, and cause stop-the-world pauses that freeze your cluster. That is why operations engineers care about field types. A keyword aggregation is page cache friendly and heap safe. A text field data aggregation is a heap bomb waiting to go off. Let us break down the resource costs by workload pattern. During indexing, text fields typically consume more CPU because the analyzer chain runs tokenization, lowercasing, and possibly stemming for every document. A complex custom analyzer can add 5 to 15% CPU overhead compared to a simple keyword field. Text fields also produce larger inverted index segments because each document generates multiple terms. For disk, keyword fields with doc values add a columnar file per segment, but the total disk footprint depends on cardinality and value length. During querying, full-text match queries on text fields require more CPU for scoring and relevance calculation using algorithms like BM25. Term queries on keyword fields are fast exact lookups. For aggregations, keyword doc values are read sequentially from disk or page cache, which is efficient for throughput. High cardinality keyword fields, like a user ID with millions of unique values, can still be expensive for memory because the aggregation engine must track every unique value. A terms aggregation on 10 million unique user IDs requires significant heap for bucket tracking regardless of field type. The general rule: text costs more CPU at index time, keyword is cheaper for exact queries, and both can be expensive if cardinality is very high. Let us build practical intuition with common fields you will encounter. Product descriptions, log messages, email bodies, and blog posts are natural text fields because users search for words within them. Status codes, user IDs, tags, host names, and email addresses are natural keyword fields because you filter, sort, and aggregate on exact values. Some fields need both. A product title should be text for searching and keyword for sorting alphabetically. A city name should be text for fuzzy searches and keyword for faceted navigation. Use the multi-field pattern for these. Now the anti-patterns. Mapping everything as text is wasteful because you lose efficient sorting and aggregation and create unnecessary inverted index entries. Mapping everything as keyword breaks full-text search because you can only match exact values. Aggregating on a text field with field data enabled is the most dangerous pattern in production. It loads analyzed tokens into heap, and the results are often meaningless because you aggregate on lowercase fragments instead of original values. And searching on only a keyword field for natural language queries fails because there is no tokenization. The mapping table on screen summarizes the recommended type for each common field. The core distinction between text and keyword remains stable across Elasticsearch versions. However, modern Elasticsearch 9.x releases include upgrades to Lucene 10, which brings changes to some language analyzers. For example, German, Persian, and Korean analyzers have updated tokenization behavior that can affect text field indexing and search results. This mostly matters for text fields because keyword fundamentals do not change. Adjacent features like synthetic source, time series dimensions, and normalizer options continue to evolve. Always check release notes before major upgrades, especially if you use custom or language-specific analyzers on text fields. Here is the mental model. Choose text when you need language-aware word search. Choose keyword when you need exact matching, sorting, and aggregations. Under the hood, that choice changes analyzer CPU cost, Lucene term structures, doc values usage, heap pressure risk, page cache behavior, and disk I/O patterns. In Elasticsearch, mapping is not just schema. It is performance engineering. Correct mapping choices prevent slow queries, heap spikes, and production surprises.